Welcome to the Truman Charities podcast, a community of caring. I am Jamie Truman, your host. I'm one of the co-founders of Truman Charities. Our organization has raised over $1 million for several different charities as we share our message of helping others and paying it forward. We plan to continue to educate our audience on the culture of giving. On this podcast, I will interview fellow charity founders, volunteers, sponsors, and other people in the community who will share their stories. You will hear and be inspired by their selflessness and passion for helping others. Welcome to another episode of A Community of Caring. Please rate and review this podcast for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card and my favorite daily gratitude journal. All you have to do is screenshot the review before you hit submit and send it to me via Facebook at Truman Charities or Instagram at Jamie_Truman Charities. A winner is pulled the first of every month. Now it is time to introduce my guest, philanthropist and Truman Charities board member, Don McGlynn. Don, how are you?
I'm great, Jamie. How are you?
Good. Now, I know that you have been involved in several different charities in many different capacities. So I want to take a few minutes and pick your brain this morning about some of the work that you've done, if that is okay with you.
That sounds good.
Perfect. Now, I've always been wondering, was there an event or person that has inspired you to give back?
There were actually two people, and they were my parents. When I was in grade school, my mom was a volunteer at the school. My dad coached CYO. And I remember him taking me out and we painted the goalposts at St. Joseph's Parish in Beltsville. So They just taught me always to give back.
That is a beautiful story. And now I understand where your passion for giving back comes from. It started at such a young age. Now, what charities have you been involved with and what drew them to you?
One of the first ones that I worked with was the American Heart Association, and I was on the board in Bethesda, Montgomery County, and I helped run the Heart Walk for 3 years. I actually chaired the Heart Walk for 3 years in Bethesda. Had up to 5,000 people walking. It was just a great event. And the main reason was just heart disease was prevalent in my family.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about that walk? So I don't know much about it.
Unfortunately, as a whole, as a nation, American Heart Association changed their whole setup. So they went to regional walks instead of local grassroots walks. So back, I guess this is about 20 years ago, they had walks in Bethesda obviously to raise money. We had a lot of sponsors, and we always ended up in Bethesda during Taste of Bethesda. So it was just a great event. Like I said, we had about 5,000 people at each walk. Just very good time. It was more fun, and we raised money.
That is fun. 5,000 people is a lot of people to participate. And Taste of Bethesda is a great way to end it.
It was. It sure was.
I bet. So obviously you have participated in several successful charity events. Can you share some of your thoughts on what you think made them successful?
One I kind of specialized in, didn't really know I was going to do that, were golf tournaments. I ran a couple for my daughter's school, Stone Ridge in Bethesda. I also helped with my Rotary with theirs, and also one in a Rotary up in Connecticut. The main thing I did was go in and see that they were having a great tournament, but not raising any money. And because I've done it before, you just add a few little things like contests, bigger sponsors, and just make it a lot of fun. And the money doubled in two of the different tournaments I ran.
Oh, wow. So how long have you been doing these tournaments?
Wow, my daughter was in, it's been a long time. It's been about 25 years now.
Oh, wow. So you definitely know how to run a successful golf tournament.
And it's not hard. It's just, you just think of different things that make it more fun, and people are willing to give them.
If anybody is thinking about it or sees a golf tournament, but is like myself and not someone that plays golf often and is a little bit intimidated by that. Now, can you still go and can you still sign up for these golf tournaments if you're not someone that is, I would say, is an amateur, really?
Well, the nice thing is usually best ball. So make sure you get a couple ringers on your team, and then it really doesn't matter.
Perfect.
But it's more fun. You know, that's the big thing about it. I know we've had tournaments where there are non-players there where they pay for a golf lesson, and then they can enjoy the day with everybody. It's just a nice time all around.
That is fantastic, because I've always wanted to do a golf tournament, but I've always been a little bit intimidated by it because I don't really play golf. So that is helpful for people like myself. And I did want to know this question. Now, you are on the board of Truman Charities, but take that away from that. You've been on the board of several different other charities. What has drawn you to be on a board of a charity?
I like being in control. No, just kidding. No, I like help shaping what the charity does. It's depending on, it doesn't really matter which charity it is, but to help them with my knowledge. And I think that's the best way to do it.
Now, anybody that's listening right now and doesn't exactly know what being on a board entails, can you give them a little bit of an idea?
Well, I think the nice things, especially like Truman Charities, is making decisions of what charities to donate to and to fundraise for. And the reason I joined Truman was it's all local. We're not trying to do something great big where we're a tiny fish in a big pond. Here, we can actually help the smaller charities in the area.
I do. And I love that. And we absolutely love having you on board because you have so much experience. So you bring in a lot of knowledge for us.
Thank you.
So let me kind of turn it a little bit. Now, you have been in the real estate world, an expert real estate agent since 91, you said?
Yes, I have.
Awesome. So I got to pick your brain a little bit about real estate, if you don't mind. But first, I want to see, do you see any similarities between your real estate business and your charitable participation?
I help both people in both aspects. With charity, obviously, raising money and volunteering is great. And with selling real estate, it's always helping either buyer or seller.
That makes sense. Now, okay, so I'm going to just ask you a question that I've been kind of dying. And a couple other people, I put it on my story and I got a couple of responses. I said, I have an expert, real estate agent, Don, coming on. Now, I need to know, what are the questions that people are dying to know from an agent? And the one that I got kind of over and over again was, could you provide us with 3 cost-effective ways to make your house more marketable? It seems to be on everyone's mind.
Sure. The first thing to do is spruce up the house, which is not that expensive, is paint, carpet, redo the floors if they're necessary. That's number one, and that's your best bang for your buck. Number 2 is staging the property. If the person, especially if the house is vacant, to get it staged professionally so people can see what rooms look like. A lot of people can't visualize a house without furniture in it. So I think that's very important. And number 3 is professional photography. First place people look is online. And if you don't have good photography, they'll just go to the next house.
Gosh, that makes so much sense. And I also got a lot of questions from people online, and they were asking, well, there's so many different agents. So it kind of gets a bit overwhelming. So they're looking for, like, what are the characteristics that you should look for in an agent?
I think there are a handful, but I think some of the most important ones, the first is rapport with the agent. You're going to be dealing with this person through a very stressful time, and you want to make sure you can talk to each other, you can open up, because there's a lot of good agents out there. There's no doubt about that, but you really have to hit it off with the agent. Number 2, make sure they know the market of where you are. I'm licensed in the state of Maryland. I'm not going to sell you a house in Western Maryland because I don't know the area. So I focus in Montgomery County and DC, where I know. And I think that's the best thing to do, is make sure you have somebody that really knows the area. And number 3 is experience. I think that especially in a market like now, we're in such a crazy time, you have to have somebody that has been through this before. And in 30 years, I've been at the highs and lows of the markets, and it's different. So you have to know how to handle each type of market.
That makes a lot of sense. And Don, I just want to say thank you so much. I wanted to learn more about why you have such a passion for helping others and all your charitable work. And I loved hearing all of these kind of awesome little tips that you're giving all of our listeners, not only about your charitable giving back, but also about real estate, because I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that. So thank you so much, Don, for taking the time to talk with us.
It was great talking to you this morning.
Great. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you on our next episode. If you would like to learn more about our organization, please follow us on Facebook at Truman Charities or Instagram at Jamie_Truman Charities, or check out our website, trumancharities.com. I hope you enjoyed listening and hearing stories of selflessness and caring. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.